Hey guys, doing another video about Bullseye trade by Jeff Bishop. So I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to go and check out the full article, which I highly recommend that you do. This is it here. I've basically gone through and kept a track record of every trade from the start of 2022 with Bullseye and documented them here so you can get an idea of how the service would perform for you. It's one of the best value services I've ever been part of. I've been a member on and off for probably the entire duration of Bullseye trades, so several years. And this year I've been a bit distracted, so I haven't been able to take a lot of these, but I thought I'd keep you guys up to date on exactly like how the trades are, like what's been going on. So last week I did FDX, so I did a video on that. If you guys didn't see it, it's on this page. You can go here and check it out. I'm going to start adding videos to each one of these trades, kind of give my insight into like more about the trade rather than just showing like the contracts that Jeff alerted. So anyway, very brief introduction. Bullseye trade is one trade idea a week. The idea arrives pre-market, so you have time to check it out before the market opens, and you're basically planning to be in the trade for a few days, no more than about a week, and then take your profits hopefully. So this year has been amazing. Pretty much only one losing trade that I've seen the whole year, this one right here, and several 100% plus winners, depending on how you manage the trade and how Jeff manages the trade as well. So anyway, this week it was the biotech index IBB that was the trade for this week. So June 3rd 2022, calls 117 calls. So buying the option, betting that this thing would go up over the course of the week, and that's exactly what happened. It was another good week. I'll try and give you a little bit of an insight into what Jeff sent out and my thoughts on it as well. So so this is the first basically the first email that we got on Monday pre-market. So he just showed the chart, not super helpful, can't really see much. Didn't really say much about it. So basically just said it's been in a downtrend, pretty much like the rest of the world, but it's been fighting for a low and has been trading against the lower trend in the markets recently. So that's something that keeps coming up with Jeff's trading, is he's looking for strength in amongst the weakness. So he definitely uses that as like a starting point, it seems like. He certainly did with FDX last week as well, and it seems to have paid off this week too. So he talks about how much money these companies have, basically at the moment, saying that if they have some money, that's a really good sign. So not super rocket science here, really. So basically saying that the reason that IBB was doing so well is that, of course, it's an index that, or ETF, that has basically all these different biotech companies in it. So the idea is that you're not really getting exposure to just one, right? So that'd be a bit more difficult, because if one has a bad earnings report or something this week, you'd be kind of screwed. So basically, buying the ETF kind of shows like you've got that diversification across all the different major biotech companies, and some of them were really running up compared to the market. So the market was going down, and a lot of the underlying stocks here in the biotech sector were going the opposite way. They were starting to rally. So you can see his thought process behind going with the IBB as a possible trade. So this is what he sent out. He said, buy IBB June 3rd 2022, 117 calls near 220, close under 110 will be stop, and target is 120, 125. So the real value came from this 11 a.m. Eastern time video, like live stream, where he talked for about an hour on this different understandings of this trade. So if I pull up some, I made some quick notes here. So basically his main technicals seem to be early squeeze, so he uses a squeeze a lot. So it was in a squeeze, which usually indicates that there's going to be a big move either up or down, hopefully to the upside. So it was one of the key technicals that Jeff Bishop seems to use. So he has a lot of this kind of other stuff that I'm talking about, where it's like, oh, it's holding up okay compared to the market. So I understand that. The fact that the biotech index has been beaten down so far, and their strength coming back in temporarily, is a good sign for a bounce. It's kind of these more generalized, like feels almost like it's not like he's looking for an exact like technical thing, like oh it's got to be like the cross of the EMA, blah blah blah. It's more of like this how you try and explain this, like sort of overall feel for the particular market or sector that he's looking at. Seems to have been spot on this year, and in this case it was as well. So really the squeeze was the only technical indicator from what I learned from Jeff. The fact that the biotech index has been beaten down so hard and their strength coming back in compared to the market. And then so he was looking at the individual stocks in the ETF, they were showing strength, so he looked at some of those. And this idea that the institutions are starting to come in to the biotech again, and there's this rotation out of tech stocks. So, and not exactly how I go about my analysis. Like I'm pretty much just a day trader now anyway, just like scalping moves on breakouts and things. But definitely this is kind of the thought process that Jeff has. I see it every week. So it seems simple, but it's quite powerful, and it seems to be working well for him. So I'm gonna go with it. Anyway, one of the guys I know bought Bullseye at the start of this week, and he got in on IBB and made about 90% pretty quickly in a day or two. So that's always exciting to see. He didn't want to hold it over Memorial Day weekend because of the decay. And honestly, in this market, I'm surprised that people would hold it once they're up 90, 100%. Would hold it any longer than that. I certainly wouldn't. It seems a bit ridiculous. But saying that, Jeff is still in this. I think he's still looking for the price targets in the 120s. So here's the chart. So you can see Friday, this is Friday's chart. It almost tapped the 120. So if we go back to his target was 120. So it was really, really close. The market overall is starting to show strength again, which I don't think Jeff really was counting on. So I think that's probably why he's swing trading this over the weekend into next week. But June 3rd's not that far away, a few days. So hopefully this sees a move, and then Jeff and anybody else in this can get out. So it wasn't an easy ride though. I mean, if we look back to Monday, so this was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So Jeff didn't actually get in on Monday, so this is the first day it's announced, pre-market over here somewhere. And if you'd got in here, you'd be a little bit irritated for the next few days when this thing dropped. But now, of course, you'd have made some decent money here. The contracts, though, were actually really nice down here. So Jeff didn't chase it. They were up in the 2s, so he waited until a pullback and got in on this day, as did my friend that I showed you in the slide. And the contracts at that point were about 160, 165. And they've rallied the rest of the week, and I'll show you the contracts. So there's 117s, here we go. So these are the contracts right here. So at 165, they've pretty much doubled in the last few days. Pretty cool. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think that's the 5-minute chart. The 10-minute chart looks like this. You can see that my GPS is signaling a buy here on the confirmation of breaking through this key line. And the thing ran on Friday quite nicely. So GPS is saying it was a good trade, and it looked like a lot of people made some money on it. I think if we look down at the comments, you can kind of see people are saying like Jeff got filled here at 165. So yeah, certainly a fantastic service. I think I can't really recommend it highly enough at the moment. Saying that, if you look through the track records here, I'm calling this one 100% winner. It'll vary depending on where you got in, how long you hold, and that sort of stuff. But it's certainly possible to have made 100% within a few days on that trade. So I'm going to post this video in here. And then if you look through some of these other trades, they're all been really good. So the reality though is there's going to be some losers. There always is. They could be coming as soon as you sign up. But I would encourage you, if you're watching this on Memorial Day weekend, to perhaps check it out. You can click through on one of these links. Because I think it's on discount at the moment. It's only $97 for a year, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I want to make sure that you guys get in on this. Honestly, I think this was going at like $400 a year when I first signed up years ago. So definitely check it out. I think it's something that if you like to take just one trade a week, maybe you don't have a lot of time, Bullseye trades might be a good option for you. So yeah, alright, I'll do next week's trade, make sure to document that, and I'll catch up with you guys soon.